and gentlemen, my name is Martina, this is Adele, Assam and Martin. Today we're in front of one of the most beautiful hotels in Lucerne, Hotel Schweizerhof. The reason we are here today is in order to conduct an interview with Ms. Bettina Hauger in order to investigate the STP strategy in their hotel.
This is the 5-star Hotel Schweizerhof Lucerne, a historic symbol of the city which was founded in 1845 with over 20 awards and recently won the Oscars of Tourism. One of the highest ranked hotels in Lucerne and truly stands behind their slogan, empathy and excellence. Good afternoon. We are happy to be here with Ms. Bettina Hauger, the sales and marketing assistant of this excellent hotel. We would like to thank you for this interview and your time and anticipation. Could you please give us a small introduction about yourself?
Well, I did the hotel school here in Lucerne and finished it like 2 years ago, and then I started here as sales and marketing assistant.
Is this your first practicum? Is this your first job? Or?
Well, I did all the practicals during the school time, and now it's my first real job because I'm going to stay here.
Okay, that's perfect.
And we would like to mention that the interview is kept confidential and only for educational purposes of the BHMS school. Our aim is to know about Schweizerhof's STP, how does it affect the Asian and the Arab market segment. Therefore I have my colleagues here, Ms. Martina, Mr. Martin, Ms. Essen behind the camera, and myself, Adam.
So we were so free and we tried to define the main Schweizerhof customer, and we came up that it is a businessman who once in a while wants to enjoy events. How accurate is this statement, or how would you define the main customer?
We do have a lot of individual travelers from Switzerland, from America. We do have some people from Asia, but most of them are from Switzerland and the US. Yes, we are the festival hotel, so we do have a lot of festival guests here. Not just because we do have festivals in-house, but there's the Lucerne Festival, Blue Balls. So we do have a lot of customers who come to Lucerne because of this. But most of them are not business people.
Okay, and how you just mentioned that most of them are either European or US. Is it based on your experience, or does the hotel actually track the data to build a database?
We do check where they come from. So we just take this information and do our statistics. We also have to give this to, for example, Lucerne Tourism or Switzerland Tourism, so they can use these information. Exactly.
Interesting that you mentioned the Lucerne Tourism, because we found a statistic that in Lucerne the Asian and Arab market segments are increasing. Is your hotel also affected by this trend?
Well, we do get a lot of Arab people. It is actually increasing. I think Lucerne always had a lot of Asian people here. It's changing a little bit because Chinese people don't get the visa very, very easily. So at the moment we don't have a lot of Chinese people here. Okay. But still, yeah, of course, we do have a lot of Asian and Arabs as well.
And you mentioned you're more used to the European US segment. How is the Chinese segment differ from them? Have there any experience that they have preferences for other people?
Well, most Asian people, Chinese people, they travel in groups. So we don't really get individual reservations. Well, we do, but not too many. So if we want to have Asian people here, we always have like a group of 10 to 20 rooms, which, well, we cannot always do it. They require different food. They just have another culture, you know?
Yeah, different culture. My colleague Ado will continue.
Since the Asian and the Arab market segments have different requirements, how can you advertise for them?
Advertise?
Yeah.
Well, we do it through preferred hotels, for example. So I don't know if you know it, it's like leading hotels of the world. It's like a marketing.
We've heard about it.
Okay, great. Well, we do some stuff through this. Our sales and marketing director travels to Asia once a year, as well as to Saudi Arabia, for example. So he goes to some parties and how do you say in English? Message.
Yeah.
To some marketing activities.
Exactly. So that's how we do it.
How does your hotel benefit customers through loyal programs?
Well, for example, through the preferred hotels, so they have a loyal program like I Prefer, so you get better rates. They include breakfast for you or free upgrades, whatever. We do have our own loyal program, our Family and Friends card. So, but this is mostly for local people, so they get some percentage at the spa, at the restaurant, for overnight stays, something like that.
Does your hotel benefit from it, from the loyalty programs, or?
Well, we get, the guests return.
Yes. I've heard you had a lot of returning guests, is that right?
Yes, that's right. That's right. The loyalty program, well, probably the restaurant is the restaurant probably does get more customers because of this. Not really the hotel, because like I said, it's mostly about local people. But well, it's also a lot of cost you have to actually do this loyalty program. That's also
Yes.
What does your slogan represent? Empathy and excellence. Is it also applicable for the Arab and Asian market segment?
well, it's in general. We don't want just to be like good. We want to do more for our customers, and so all the staff gets training 2 to 3 times a year. So yeah, we work together with Schweizerhof in Lenzerheide. So all the team leaders do trainings together, like both hotels, and then they train us for like to get more sensible for customer needs and stuff like that. It's all about the soft
Interpersonal action.
Exactly.
Since we have seen that your restaurants offer special food, like for example halal food, do you have any other customized products in order to attract Asian or Arab customers?
Not really. We offer an Asian breakfast. So if we have a lot of Asian people in house, of course we have to do like a second breakfast buffet. No, we don't.
That's what you do it only when you get groups of Asians, I guess.
If we don't have any Asian people here, we don't offer it. But of course, normally we do have some people here.
And based on your experience, what are the most common requirements for serving the Asian and Arab segments? Do they have something special, or?
Well, yeah, of course, food is always a really important thing.
Yeah.
But for example, we don't serve Indian food, or we cannot do halal food because it's not possible in the same kitchen. Well, we cannot do it.
Yeah. So you basically focus on Swiss kitchen, if I'm right.
For example, we do have, how do you say, Gebetsteppiche for Arabic people. Well, we try to.
You also have Qurans on the stand. You offer that service.
We do have it here, but not in rooms.
Just on special requests.
As I said, it's not our main segment, so we just need to have it here, and if it's required, we
According to our research we conducted, we defined that your hotel applies differentiation strategy. I would like to ask, do you agree with this statement, and how would you say that the hotel is different from the competitors? For example, Palace Hotel or a National? How are you different from the competitors?
Well, probably it's about the festivals, because most of the hotels don't have that many events going on in the hotel. We're open to public, so Carnival is taking place here, all the festivals are taking place here. Our bar is not just a hotel bar, it's really like, we do have a lot of local people here.
Yeah.
People like to come in. We're probably not a normal 5-star hotel.
Yeah.
And we
More
don't want to
energetic.
see don't want to be yes.
So also, as I mentioned before, we conducted an interview here and we find out that interpersonal interaction plays a big role in your hotel. How does Schweizerhof ensure that the guests receive high standard interpersonal services? How do you interact with guests?
Well, that's probably also about empathy and excellence, so all the staff gets trained very often. Also, if we have some, if people are not happy with it, we talk about it. We do have weekly management, how do you say, management meetings, so all the feedbacks, well, we discuss everything.
Yeah. Do you greet the customers by name when they're coming?
Yes, of course. We do have all the information, and if the returning guests, well, of course we do it. We try our best.
Okay.
Well, that's also one point, because we have a lot of people, a lot of staff here that has been working here for many years.
Yeah.
Which is not always normal for
And our last question is, since Schweizerhof Lucerne is located in the heart of the city with very beautiful view, do you get a lot of walking customers?
Well, guests don't really book like 3 months in advance. They book like 1 week in advance. We do have a lot of customers like that, but we don't really get a lot of walk-ins, like they walk in and want to the room.
Okay.
Sometimes, but not really.
So is your hotel booked in advance usually, or you have vacant room to offer to the walking in case it happens?
Well, normally we do have some rooms, but of course it can happen when we don't have anything.
Yeah.
Especially during summertime, we're quite open.
That was great.
So, and then in the name of the group, we would like to thank you for the interview. We brought you some little chocolates.
Oh, wow.
You might share them with your colleagues, or if they didn't see it, you just keep them for yourself.
Thank you so much.
And thank you for
your
the time and
time.
the answers.
Thank you.
We just finished the interview with Bettina Hauger. From her answers, we identified that the main market segment of the hotel are the European customers, and they target them by the means of festivals. We were surprised by the relaxed atmosphere inside, as we were allowed to film in the lobby, and later on she even showed us the rooms and several banquet and seminar halls. We were even able to have a little talk to the reception, where we found out that they position themselves by exceeding customer expectation, and therefore we are thankful.
Yeah, so if they come back, we say welcome, nice having you back, Mr. and Mrs. Miller. It's nice having you here again. Hope you had a good journey to us.
Yeah, so you recognize them by the appearance, or you have the names already before?
We do have the names before, but if there are guests, there are a lot here, so we know them usually.
Oh, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
To investigate further the STP strategy of Schweizerhof, we have today Mr. Victor Zumstedt here. Could you please tell us something more about you, sir?
Oh, okay. I'm the here in the BHMS. I'm the resident manager, responsible for accommodation, office, front office, and so on. That's my baby. And prior to that, I was working in various hotels around the world and working in hospitals and so on. So, yeah, that's where I come from. And amongst that, I used to work, as you mentioned, in Hotel Schweizerhof.
Which is the reason we chose you?
Okay. Back in those days, it was very, very, very old-fashioned, traditional. and I just had completed the hotel school in Lucerne, and obviously full of dynamics, and I wanted to change the world and that particular hotel. Really, they were. I recall we had an executive chef who actually happened to work many years in overseas, Asia, and he came back with ideas. He changed the names of the menus around, where before everything was traditional French. All the menus were written in French.
Yes.
It was really traditional. We had some groups and tours who came there from, but I think in those days it was Asia wasn't the only started. I think we had Japanese tourists who sort of came through. The Arab world wasn't there yet. It was mainly Americans. That's what happened in those days.
And did you have any special discounts or treatments for returning guests?
No, nothing special. The only thing we had was that at lunchtime they had sort of like this typical lunchtime menu, sort of like a set menu, which was a bit cheaper, but other than that, that's it.
So the returning guests, they didn't receive any special discounts?
No.
Okay. And did you have many returning guests, many loyal guests to the restaurant, or?
Yeah, I mean there were a lot of people from Lucerne who came there on a regular basis. There were mainly elderly people.
So the target was elderly people?
Was elderly people. During daytime was business people. There were a lot of people who came there every day, had a cup of coffee, they read the newspaper and blah blah blah. The parents or the father of these people running now, I mean it's so different now.
Yes.
I think they were just hanging in their traditional things which happened for the last, I mean the families now in I don't know how many generations have been working there.
But you managed to make them, to convince them to make a promotion of the hotel.
That's, I must say, I was very happy in the end. As I think before I left, they did take some photographs, they did do an advertising campaign. I remember that, yes, that happened. I still have the photographs, I was very proud because I wasn't in photo myself.
Yes.
There was a manager there who's been there also since probably kindergarten. He did his sales trips and he kept in contact with those groups and tours which he knew, but he wasn't really out for new stuff. They used to purchase wines by barrels. I mean, there were barrels in the cellar, about 300-400 liter barrels, which they bought the wine in barrels. They put the wine in these barrels and they kept it, they looked after it. They had a wine maker specialist and they bottled it there as Hotel Schweizerhof wines. They bought the big thing from France and from God knows where, and they had their own label.
So Hotel Schweizerhof had only hotel, that hotel that you mentioned as a competitor.
But there were, I mean, there was the Palace, there was the National. I mean, those hotels were there.
Yes.
But they, when you say competitor, I mean, they did the same thing like Readers.
So was it back in the days also a festival hotel or not?
No, the festival, we had a few concerts, but it was just sort of part of what happened all around Lucerne. But it wasn't like today, definitely not. But we did have a few small concerts in the rooms, yeah, but not like today.
Yes. Did you do any special trainings for interaction between the guests in the restaurants, or did they have any standards?
And we had new kids, we had sort of trainees who came there. I mean, they trained them. I recall the concierge, I mean, there was an old guy there, also shortly before pension age. I mean, they knew their customers, they knew them from when they were little. That was amazing. So, I mean, there was definitely a relationship between the staff, because they have been there for centuries, and the customers. They used to purchase wines by barrels. I mean, there were barrels in the cellar, about 300-400 liter barrels, which they bought the wine in barrels. They put the wine in these barrels and they kept it, they looked after it. They had a wine maker specialist and they bottled it there as Hotel Schweizerhof wines. They bought the big thing from France and from God knows where, and they had their own label. It's like that.
Well, here we will finish our interview. Thank you very much for your participation. We were glad to hear